Through depicting Macbeth's soliloquy in Act 5, Scene 5, the prevalent theme of loss of meaning was constructed by elements of form and style. These things include diction, syntax and structure, literal imagery and symbolism, and figurative imagery. All are important compounds in creating the main idea of loss of meaning.
I have almost forgotten the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled, to hear a night shriek and fell on my hair. Would a dismal treatise rouse and stir, as life weren't in it. I have supped full with horrors, direness familiar to my slaughter's thoughts, cannot one start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor slayer that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Diction is the specific word choice used to help convey the meaning of the text. Diction establishes a mood for the reader which affects the theme and how it is interpreted. The first sentence that stood out was, "The time has been my senses would have cooled." From this sentence, the word cooled is a synonym for numb. Referring back to our theme, loss of meaning, his senses have numbed and there is no longer any emotion he holds, as everything has become numb. Next, the words "cannot once start me" are comparing his life before and how it is now numb. His thoughts of bloodshed and murdering people can no longer daunt him, as he has lost his meaning of life. The next sentence that stands out is, "She should have died hereafter," as it has multiple meanings. The most logical meaning is, she should have died after the battle when he could properly mourn. Macbeth is probably thinking about how terrible his life is and how it is going wrong, therefore slowly losing the meaning of life. Next is petty pace. If we break down the words, petty means of little importance or meaningless, so altogether, he would be saying, creeps in this meaningless pace. This goes back to our theme, loss of meaning, because he is blatantly stating how unhappy and emotionless his life has become. Next, the words brief candle stand out because it connects with the next lines of the soliloquy, which explain of a short-lived life. The main reason why these words were chosen is because it emphasizes the brevity of his life, as a candle only lasts for a short period of time. Both represent a quantity of time that have come to an end. In the next line, Macbeth says, "Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player." Walking shadow and poor player caught my attention because it shows the extent Macbeth has lost the meaning of life. He refers to life as a walking shadow or an illusion, which means he knows he is living, but he has lost all emotions and the will to live. The word poor player refers to someone that is sad, pitiful, or pathetic, which he uses to describe his life at the moment. Following, he says, "and then is heard no more." The words "heard no more" indicate an ending, as the sounds have died down. Since Macbeth refers to his life as something pitiful and pathetic, the words "heard no more" probably refers to the relief he will feel as his life ends.
Sentence structure is the study of sentence structure and the constructions within sentences. Syntax tells us what goes where in a sentence. Shakespeare carefully organizes sentence structure to convey a meaning. The passage includes Macbeth talking, Satan responding, and then Macbeth responding. "My fell of hair" is a subject-verb inversion. Today we would say it as "my hair fell." Enjambment happens when there isn't punctuation at the end of the line and the line continues. Characters with larger roles have longer and deeper lines. This line has a short and choppy rhythm. This is a turning point in the passage for Macbeth. Most servants have short, concise lines with an intended meaning. This line is a long, flowy sentence structure. Here, repetitions are used to show how Macbeth feels his life is being dragged on and is meaningless. This is a run-on sentence where Macbeth expresses his opinion on the meaninglessness of life. Shakespeare uses iambic pentameter to create long, flowy lines.
The definition of literal imagery is the use of words exactly according to their proper meanings or definition. This often will mix in with figurative imagery, especially in this passage where Macbeth talks to himself in a very obscure way. I was able to find a few words and phrases that help the reader create an image of what Macbeth is thinking of and what the circumstances are. When Macbeth says to hear a night shriek, this tells us that the scene is taking place at night, and what the shriek might mean is that it's coming from a woman. Also, a shriek can also tell the reader that this woman is in pain or trouble, leading to the next events to come in the scene. After Macbeth has described his loss of fear, he asks, "Wherefore was I cry?" and gives the image of Satan entering and Macbeth hearing the cry within the chambers of the castle. Who knows, this might be Lady Macbeth. This is giving us explicit meanings and telling us what might happen further into the scene. Midway down the first page, when Satan says, "The queen, my lord, is dead," sets the stage for Macbeth's long-lost meaning as he hears the news that his wife is dead. This gives us an image of what Macbeth's face could look like when he's hearing the news, and what he may do later in the scene now that he knows the news of his wife's death. At the bottom page 1, Macbeth says the way to dusty death. Macbeth here is describing how his coffin will be or his funeral will be when he dies after the events that will come. This adds to Macbeth's deep depression of his life, and now he sees that he has no meaning anymore. On page 2, Macbeth says that struts and frets his hour upon the stage. Even though this phrase or sentence can mean many things, Macbeth here is describing a picture for the readers. This description can tell us that he's describing a jester that struts and frets on the stage. One word that I had trouble depicting was stage. Stage can have many meanings. It could be a literal stage where performers perform. Stage might be a life stage in how he handles situations, or it could be the stage of his death and how events will lead to his end. A few lines down, told by an idiot, adds to the jester idea, as jesters back in the time were seen as idiots. The last phrase in the soliloquy is very important when Macbeth says, "signify nothing." He erases the images in the reader's mind that were developing before as Macbeth was describing his life, but now he's wasted all that time really adding to his loss of meaning. Nothing also is a very good example of literal imagery because this ends the scene, where when he says signifying nothing, we can picture in our minds that the scene is done and he's woken from his deep thoughts and now he's ready to end his life where he has no meaning anymore.
Figurative imagery was very common in this passage of Macbeth, and with help from it, the reader is able to pick up the general theme and how Macbeth was feeling in that very moment. To begin, we see Macbeth express his thoughts within an idiom. He uses the expression, "almost forgot the taste of fears," to suggest to the audience that he is slowly becoming numb or forgetting the effect fear once had on him. Next, we see Macbeth use another example of personification when he says, "Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot whence start me." Here, he is referring to direness, otherwise known as suffering, having the ability to start him or cause him to become scared. Therefore, bad and familiar things are so familiar to Macbeth that they no longer have an impact on him like in the past. Another example of personification is used soon after when Macbeth reflects that tomorrow, tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. Here the future is being expressed as tomorrow, and it has the human quality to creep along dully without meaning. Therefore, Macbeth uses this imagery to explain that his future has no significance and it will continue to drag on. Personification is used once again when Macbeth explains that all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Macbeth refers to the past as yesterday and says it has the ability and does show the way for fools to their infinite death. Therefore, he thinks it has no meaning or significance. Soon after, Macbeth uses symbolism when he says, "Out, out, brief candle." The overall symbol represents Lady Macbeth's death. The light of the candle burning out refers to the sudden end of Lady Macbeth's life. This further proves that Macbeth's meaning of light is being lost as his wife died suddenly and without reason. Then Macbeth uses a metaphor. Life's but a walking shadow. This is used to compare life to a walking shadow or an illusion. And because illusions are just figures of the brain's imagination and aren't real, they have no meaning. We can further infer that Macbeth thinks life has no meaning or real significance. Next, an analogy is used as Macbeth explains that life is a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. Here he is comparing life to the common play and how life of a person is like an actor that is insignificant and appears on stage for maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and when he is never heard of again, makes no difference because he has no meaning to the overall play. In this analogy, Macbeth is the actor, and the play is the life of all humanity, and he further convinces himself that he is insignificant and his life has no meaning to the whole picture. Finally, in the last line, Macbeth expresses a metaphor to end off his soliloquy. He says, "It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing." He is saying that life is just a story told by an idiot which is full of commotion and emotion, but in the end has no meaning or significance. So to conclude, Macbeth continually makes references to life having no meaning, and it is repeated throughout the whole scene. However, this is a sudden epiphany in Macbeth. This has been influenced by his loss of his wife, friends, and his impending doom, as he was just told that the woods of Burnham are now moving toward Dunsinane. In other words, the witch's prophecy is beginning to unravel and come true. Therefore, all 4 elements of form and style built the prevalent theme of loss of meaning at a gradual increase till Macbeth finally admits that life has no meaning or significance in the final line of his soliloquy.